Hey guys, welcome back to No Catch Your Name. It's me, Ella. Today we're going to make the Grinch. This is my own pattern that I designed for you guys, actually specifically for my yarny friend Linda, who asked me to make a tutorial for her. So in order to make a tutorial, I had to make my own pattern. So this is for Linda. This is dedicated to Linda. So if you want to make this cute Grinch, grab your stuff and let's head over to the craft table and make it. You can also make it jumbo, same pattern, but different yarns. So let's make them. Alright, first we're going to start with his arms. And then we'll make his legs and make up his body and attach everything as we go along. So to start with his arms, we got to make 2 of them. And you're going to start with a magic ring. Cross it over your fingers, the yarn, wrap it around twice. Go under the first one, over the second one. And then when you pull it through, you kind of twist it. And chain 1. And there's the magic circle. Magic ring, whatever. And we're going to put 6 single crochets in the magic ring. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to pull our ring tight. Be gentle if you have chenille yarn because they tend to break. Alright, so now we're going to do the next rounds 2 through 7. We're just going to be single crocheting 6 around. So it's a total of 6 rounds. And 36 stitches. There's my first one. I'm going to put a stitch marker in my first stitch. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to turn it out the right way. Alright, so that was round 2, so now 3 through 7, we're going to do the same thing, single crochet 6 all the way around, and that'll be 5 more rounds after the one we just did, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, once you finish round 7, you have your arm's length, then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to fold the arm flat. There's no need to stuff it unless you just want to add some maybe to the hand. And then we're going to, when it's folded flat, we're going to single crochet across both layers 3 times. So the chain 1 kind of just gives you some height here, so it's not so hard to work. So you just stick your hook through both layers and do a single crochet, and then you do a second one and then a third one. That closes the hoe up here, and that makes single crochets across the top for you to work through when we're attaching it to the body. Now for the arms, you don't need to leave a long tail because it doesn't need a tail. So we're just going to leave a short one and finish it off like that. So now we're going to make a second arm just like we made this one, and then we'll move on to the legs. Okay, there's his 2 arms. So I got them done. I'm just going to set them aside, and then we're going to start on the legs. For the legs, we're going to start off the same way with the magic ring. And in our magic ring, we're going to put 6 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close up our ring. And then for round 2 of the leg, we're going to do 1 single crochet. So let me start that. The first stitch is always a little hard for me to get into. Okay, so put my stitch marker in there. And then the next stitch we're going to increase. So we put 2 single crochets in 1 space. The next stitch we're going to do 1 single crochet. And then we're going to increase the next one. And then the next stitch we're going to single crochet. And in the last stitch we're going to increase. So at the end of this round you'll have 9 stitches, 9 single crochets around. And then for rounds 3 through 6, we're going to single crochet all the way around. That's 4 rounds of 9. So we're going to do 3, 4, 5, and 6, just single crocheting all the way around. Okay, I just finished round 6 of the first leg. Now for this round, this leg, we are going to cut it off, but I want you to leave kind of a long tail. And we'll use that tail later. So just finish off the first leg completely. and then go on to make the second leg. But when you get to round 6 on the second leg, do not cut it off. and that's what we'll pick back up to attach the legs. Okay, this is the second leg. I just completed round 6 on it, so we don't cut this leg off. We're gonna keep going and attach the second leg. So to join the legs, we're going to, on the second leg, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to take the second leg and join to it. Leave this tail down. We're going to use that later to sew up a hole. So in the first stitch of the first leg, so this is where we ended off, so we're going to go into the next stitch here. We're going to join with a single crochet. And let's put our stitch marker in there. And then we're going to single crochet all the way around the first leg. So that was 1 stitch. So here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we're going to be working into this chain 3 that we just made to attach them. There's 3 chains, so we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first chain, 1 single crochet in the second chain, and 1 single crochet in the third chain. And then we're back to the second leg, so we're going to go into right here, the first stitch, do 1 single crochet. Okay, so that was our first stitch. So now we're going to go into here for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that was 9 stitches of the second leg. So now there's 3. These are the 3 chains that we chained to join them. So we're going to single crochet 1 in each of these chains. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let me stop here for a second. So here's our legs. We did our second leg here. Well, actually, this is the second leg. And we chained 3 to attach the 2 legs. So we did 9 single crochets around the first leg, 3 across the chain, 9 around the second leg, and 3 across the other side of the chain. So that's a total of 24 stitches. And this tail that we left here is to sew up this hole right here from where we attach the legs together. Sometimes there's one on each side. It doesn't look like there's one on this side. But I always like to leave a tail so I can sew that hole up just so there's no stuffing's showing through. And I do that later when I'm done with the project. Or if this tail's getting on my nerves, I'll do it, earlier. But I'm just going to save it for the end of the project this time. Okay, so we finished the legs and joining them. So now we're going to move on to the body. Oops, I just pulled out a stitch there. Let me fix that. If you hear that noise in the background, it is really windy here today that I'm recording this, so it's just windy. Alright, so now we're on row 8 of the body. In this row, we're going to start off in our first stitch. We're going to do 1 single crochet. And then I'm going to put my stitch marker back. And then the next stitch, we're going to increase. We're going to put 2 single crochets in that next stitch. And then we're going to single crochet the next stitch. And increase again in this next stitch. Then we're going to single crochet the next 12 stitches. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Then we're going to repeat what we did in the front, single crochet 1, increase 4 times. So here's 1 single crochet and then increase, 1 single crochet, increase the next, 1 single crochet, increase the next, and then one more time we're going to do 1 single crochet and increase in the last stitch. The part where we did the increasing this side is where his belly will be. We increased it to make his belly a little bit bigger. This back side will be his back side. So that's what we were just doing right now, is increasing to make his belly a little bit bigger. So now for rounds 9 through 12, we're going to be single crocheting all the way around. And that's 30 stitches each round. So I will come back at the end of round 12 to continue. Okay, I just finished round 12. So we were doing 9, 10, 11, and 12 single crocheting solidly around. This is him so far. If you kind of fluff him out, this is his belly, because you can see it sticks out bigger. So let's real quick stuff the feet, since we're going to be decreasing soon. So get you some polyfill, which I forgot to say you needed, but I mean, you always need polyfill. So let's just stuff the legs. They don't need too much. Just some. I'm going to stuff both the legs, and then I'll stuff the stomach when I start decreasing. Okay, let me look at these. I think that's good for now. I'm also going to real quick sew this hoe up. So I'm going to put my yarn needle on there. It's kind of a little difficult because there's other leg there. But I'm just going to sew this little hole closed, and then I'll have the tail on the inside of his body. Put it on the inside of him. And then on the inside, I will just kind of weave it through the stitches to secure it. You can wait to do this later if you want, or you can do it now. It doesn't really matter. And then I'll just leave that in there. It could be extra stuffing. Okay, so now that closes up down here. Alright, so we can continue crocheting. We are on row 13, which is going to be 3 single crochet and decrease 6 times, and we'll end the row with 24 stitches. So let's do our first single crochet and put our stitch marker back. So that was 1, 2, 3, and now our first decrease. So we're going to go in the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the stitch right next to it, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, yarn over, and go through all 3 of those. So that was taking 2 stitches and making it into 1. We're going to repeat that 5 more times around. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a decrease. Now we're going to do that 4 more times. At the end of this row, you'll have 24 stitches. Next is row 14. So for this row, we're just going to single crochet each stitch around. So there's 24 stitches from row 13. So now row 14, we are just going to single crochet 1 in each of those 24 stitches. Okay, for row 15, we're going to be doing some decreases. So in this row, we're going to single crochet 2 and then decrease. So let's do our first single crochet. Put our stitch marker back. Second single crochet, and then we're going to decrease. Single crochet 2, so 1, 2, and then decrease. We're going to repeat that all the way around, and at the end of this round, you'll have 18 stitches. Okay, I just finished round 15, so now round 16 and 17, we're going to single crochet all the way around. 1 stitch in each stitch. So it's 2 rows of 18 stitches. Okay, I just finished round 16 and 17, so his body's shaping up. So now we're going to stop right here and stuff his body. So this part's kind of important because you don't want to overstuff it. You don't want to cause the stuffing to be visible through your stitches. You don't want to understuff it because then he'll be real floopy and floppy. Of course, if that's what you're looking for, you can do that. But I'm gonna put some stuffing in there, and then I'm gonna kind of go in the center and push out to the sides. That'll create like a hole in the middle that I can put more stuffing in, and keep doing that until he is the firmness that I want him to be. I think I'll add a little bit more. I had to open a new bag of stuffing, and this new bag, same brand, but it feels different. I hate that. I hate when things aren't consistent. Okay, let's see here. I think that is pretty good for at the moment. Check his legs. I kind of wish I had stuffed better down there. Let me see if I can push some more stuff down there. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there for now and pick back up Crochet. Look at his belly. His little belly is so cute. Alright, so now we are on row 18, and we're going to be adding the arms. So let's get our arms back over here. There they are. So for row 18, first we're going to single crochet 3. So let me do 1, and then add my stitch marker back. So 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to attach our first arm. So take your arm. Doesn't really matter which direction, because it's 3 stitches either way. So we're going to go through the arm. It's first single crochet, and then we're going to go through the next body single crochet right here. So we're going through both layers, and we're going to do a single crochet. Then we're going to do that again. So here's the second single crochet on the arm. We're going to go on the next stitch of the body, single crochet them together, and then we're going to do it with the last one, single crochet. Right. After we did the third stitch for the arm, then we're going to single crochet 6. So here's 1, 2, whoops, 3, 4, whoops, 5, 6, and then we're going to do the second arm just like we did the first one. So we're going to go through the arm, it's first single crochet, the next stitch of the body, and single crochet. Then we're going to go through the second stitch of the arm, the next stitch of the body, single crochet, and then we're going to do the third stitch of the arm, the next stitch of the body, single crochet. And then we're going to single crochet 3. So here's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there is his arms on his little buddy, his big belly. Alright, so the next round, let me get these tails stuffed in there out of my way and get my stitch marker pulled out. The next round, 19, we're going to do 1 single crochet and then decrease all the way around. So let's remove stitch marker. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to decrease. Then we're going to single crochet the next stitch and then decrease, single crochet, decrease. We're going to repeat that to the end, and we'll have 12 stitches. Okay, so now on to row 20. We're getting there. We're about to start the head. This is actually the first stitch, the first round starting the head. So in this round, we're going to increase in every stitch. So we're going from 12 stitches to 24. So let me do my first increase, and then I'm going to put my stitch marker in my first stitch that I made. So we're just going to put 2 stitches in every stitch around for a total of 24 stitches. Okay, right here I'm going to stop and stuff a little bit more in his neck area, just so it's not as hard to do it later. So I'm just going to add some more stuff in to make it a little bit firmer. think that's good for now. So we're going to move on to round 21. Round 21, we are going to do 1 single crochet, 1 increase. So let's start with 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 increase. We're going to repeat that all the way around. At the end of the round, you'll have 36 stitches. For rounds 22, 23, and 24, we're going to single crochet all the way around. So it's 3 rounds of solid single crochet. Okay, I just completed round 34. So we did 3 rounds of solid single crochet. He's getting close to being done. Now we're going to start decreasing his head, which, let's see, we only got a few rows left. So this next row, round 25, we're going to do 2 single crochet. Lord of mercy. I don't know what I was about to say. I think I was going to say double crochet. So there's 1 and 2, and then we're going to decrease. And then we're going to do 1, 2, decrease. We're going to continue that all the way around, doing 2 single crochets and a decrease. And at the end of the row, you'll have 27 stitches. For rounds 26 and 27, we're going to single crochet solidly all the way around. So it's 2 rows of 27. And then I'll meet you back at round 28. Okay, I just finished rounds 26 and 27. So now for round 28, we're going to do 1 single crochet, decrease, 1 single crochet, decrease. We're going to do that all the way around, and at the end of round 28, you'll have 18 stitches. Okay, I just finished round 28, and we have 18 stitches. So now we're going to do, for round 29, we're just going to single crochet evenly around. So 1 single crochet in each stitch. You'll have 18 stitches at the end of round 29. Just finished round 29, so now I'm going to stop right here and stuff his head. So let's get some polyfill and get to stuffing. So one of the noticeable things about the Grinch, other than he's green, is he's supposed to have an onion shaped head. So that's why his head kind of peeks up, because it's like an onion shape. Let's get this head stuffed, and we're almost done. We just got a few more rounds to go. I like to stuff his head like a lot, but not all the way. And then at the end, add some more stuffing. Okay, I think that's pretty good right now. So now for row 30, we're going to do another round of solid single crochet. I guess we could have done 29 and 30 together. I have it written down weird. I've made this pattern a bunch of times, trying to get it perfect. Or my idea of perfect, I guess. So we're just going to single crochet each stitch around. So at the end of round 30, you will have 18 stitches. And now round 31, we are going to decrease each stitch around. So we're going to do 9 decreases, if I can get my first one going. Okay, so there's 1. So we're just going to decrease all the way around, and we're going to have 9 stitches at the end of this round. Okay, before we do the last bit, I'm going to go ahead and finish stuffing his head. So I'm just going to stop right here and stuff a little bit. Don't cut your yarn yet though, because we're going to be finishing him off in just a minute. Just want to get his head good and stuffed. Okay. think that's good. Okay, we just did the last round, 31, where we did decreasing all the way around, and we stuffed the top of the head. So now we're actually going to do a few more decreases because we need to make this hole just a smidge smaller. So I'm going to do one more decrease right here. One more decrease, or another one. If I can get it in there. Alright, so now we have 7 stitches. We're actually going to do one more single crochet, just one single crochet right here. Now we're kind of on his back side. This is the back side of his body. So now we have 7 stitches up here at the top of his head. Okay, I readjusted the camera a little bit. So we have 7 stitches on the top of his head. So right here is where we're going to close up his head, and we're going to make hair for the top of his head. So we're on the corner here. We're going to slip stitch between this stitch and this stitch. We're going to go through both layers, and we're going to do a slip stitch. And then we're going to chain 5. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to slip stitch in that exact same spot again. And that will make his first little piece of hair. Then we're going to go over to the next stitch and the one behind it. Slip stitch. Then we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to slip stitch in that same spot again, if I can do it. That makes his middle piece of hair. And then this last stitch over here on the side, we're going to go through both of them, the front and the back one. Slip stitch. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And slip stitch in the same spot again. And that is his hair. Whoops. I'm so bad at doing these slip stitches. Okay. Pull up a little bit of yarn. Get your scissors and snip a yarn tail. Oops, I hit the tripod. Sorry about that. Finish this off right here. Okay. So the crocheting on the Grinch is done. This is his front. You can tell by the shape of the belly. This is the front. If you have trouble figuring out which one is the front, the increases will be down here. So you can see that that's his front. But again, it doesn't matter. They're both very similar. So that's his head and his hair. We'll deal with his tail in a little bit. So he is done being crocheted. So now we need to do his face, and then we will make his scarf. So to do his eyes and his mouth, we're going to need some worsted weight black, which I got some pieces right here. And you're also going to need some bigger yarn, similar to the yarn you use for your body, for the main part of his eyes. The main part of his eyes is yellow, because he's the Grinch. So I'm going to put some yellow on my needle, and we're going to start embroidering his eyes. Okay. This part, I like embroidering eyes because they're safe, but I don't like actually doing it. I wish I could just pop safety eyes in and go on. Okay, so you just kind of figure out where you want his eyes, kind of in right here in the middle. Because like you would imagine this would be where his mouth would be. You know, his cheeks would be here. He would have his big curly mouth. And he'll have a nose, so we're going to put his eyes like right here. So I'm just going to start kind of away from where it is, so I'll have a tail. And I'm going to try to go right here. We'll see if that works out. Embroidering eyes, you kind of have to, you know, try a few different things. Sometimes you have to pick them out and do it again. So I'm going to go up here and loop back out the hole I just came out of. Boop. And then that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep going in and out these same 2 holes, building up his eye, the yellow part of his eye, to the shape that I want. And I'm going to put some yarn on this side and some on this side, just to kind of build up a oval top shape. in the middle. You just gotta mess with it, and the more you embroider eyes, the better you'll get at it. It's a skill like anything else. Okay, now I'm gonna come out on this side over here where I think the other eye will be good at. So that's the first eye. Now I'm gonna make the second eye the same way, just over a little bit. Keep going in and out the same 2 holes until they are the shape that I want them to be. I think I'll put that one over there because it's kind of wanting to lay that side anyways. I don't know if y'all can hear the wind outside of my house, but it is crazy today. It's blowing like crazy. Turn it this way. Okay. I think I'll do one more. This time I'm going to go in here, and then I'm going to come back out over here where my tail is so that I can finish it off. Okay, so I think that's good for the yellow of his eyes. Remember, if you don't like it, you can always pick it out, or you could use felt if you're the kind of person who likes cutting with felt. I do not. You could use safety eyes, but the Grinch does have yellow eyes, so you'd have to either custom make them or order them or something. Okay, go in here and hide that yellow part in his head. Okay, so that's the yellow of his eyes. So now we're going to go back with some worsted weight black and do some a little bit of detail on his eyes. Okay, so I have some black worsted weight. I'm going to do the same thing. Kind of come down here. This time, the black part of his eye, I'm struggling. The black part of his eye is going to be coming from the bottom of his eye to about the middle of the yellow part of his eye, on the inside corner of the eye, like that. And I'm going to go through that a few times to build it up. You can use thicker yarn if you wanted to, but I just feel like it looks better with worsted weight from the ones that I've done. Okay, then we're going to go over here to this side and do some on this eye. I have a hard time making his eyes look the way I wish I could get them to look, I mean. But I think felt eyes would look good on him, but some people don't like that because kids can pick them off, and then it's a choking hazard. Okay, I think that will be good. So then I'm going to come out back over here. I'm going to knot this together a few times. Get a little shorter, and then hide it in his head. Okay, there's his eyes. So now we're going to do his nose. So you need some of the body color. So for his nose, I like to put it just a little bit under his eyes. So I'm just gonna, and we're going to do the same thing with for his nose that we did for the yellow part of his eyes and really the black part. Pull it all the way through except the tail, and then we're just going to build it up. Keep going in and out the same 2 holes and just moving the yarn up and down and in the middle. Oops, dragging everything across my table. To build up a little dent, like a, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like a bubble for his nose. Of course, if you don't want to do that, you could skip that. He doesn't have to have a nose. Or you could just embroider a little nose if you wanted little nostrils. But I'm just going to build it up. I kind of do it a lot for the nose to make it bigger, where you could see it good. If you did it just a couple times, you wouldn't even be able to, it would just blend in, you know. So I kind of just do it a bunch of times. Building up his little nose. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go back in over here and come out where I started. And then also, since I still have this tail up here, I'm going to take care of this tail too. Real quick. We're almost done with the Grinch. And then we're going to make his little scarf, which is really quick. Bring this yarn down there. Tie these three together. Trim them down a little bit. And hide them in his head. Okay, so there he is so far. He's coming along. He is coming along. Now we're going to do his smile. Now, he's known for his big curly smile, and you could embroider little curls. I'm just going to be honest, I'm really bad at embroidering mouths, so I'm going to do it as basic as I can. I do like to make his smile come up real big, because he does have a big smile, you know. That's another thing that the Grinch is known for. But if you don't want to do a big mouth, you could do a little mouth, or like a little smirk, or you can make one of those across where he's kind of like grumpy. But I'm just going to start over here. I like to come out close to where the eye is. Pull it through so I have just a tail. And then I just go down a few rows and go in. And then I come out a few rows down here, kind of to the diagonal of it. And then I'm going to go back up where I just went in. And then come back out again down here. And then I'm going to go kind of across and up kind of diagonally. And go back down here. Come back out up here. And then I'm going to go up to close to his eye. Just come out somewhere randomly. Like I said, I'm not the best at embroidering mouths. This is something I really need to work on. I was getting better at making mouths. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in the same spot I just came out of and try to get over here where my tail is at. Okay. Tie it off and trim it and hide it in his head. Okay, so there's his little face. He's goofy looking. You could do eyebrows if you wanted to. I tend to make eyebrows look like they're grumpy all the time, so I usually skip eyebrows. But there's his face. So now we just gotta do his scarf. My Grinch design is based off of the 2018 animated movie Grinch, so he has a really long red and white striped scarf. So that's what I'm gonna do for him today. If you don't want to do the scarf, you can skip it. You can make it any colors you want. You can also make it as long or short as you want. This one's going to be pretty long because in the movie he has a really long scarf that he wraps around his neck a few times and it still hangs down really long. So I do make it pretty long. So now I'm going to grab my red and white yarn and we're going to start on his scarf. So I'm going to start with the red and I'm going to use the same hook that I used for the Grinch. And this time we're going to start with a chain 4. I like to leave a little tail just so it's easier for me to weave in the ends. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. This scarf is super simple. You can make it as long or as short as you want. So in the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a half double crochet. So we yarn over, go into the chain, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's a half double crochet. So we're going to do the next chain, and the last chain. So we have 3 half double crochets. So then we're going to chain 1 and turn it, and then work across 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, oops, get in there. 3. Now before I finish my 3rd half double crochet, I'm going to pull in my white, and I'm going to leave a tail, and I'm going to switch to white. I'm going to finish my stitch with the white. So I have 2 ends right here to weave in later, and I'm going to do 2 rows of white. So I'm going to chain 1, turn, do 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, and 3. Then I'm going to chain 1 and turn, do 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, and then before I finish off the white one, I'm just going to bring my yarn tail up and finish it that way. So it does leave a piece of yarn right here, but that doesn't even bother me. I would rather have that little yarn right there than have to weave in 1,000 ends. And you could also carry your yarn, but the red would show through the white and the white would show through the red a little bit. If that doesn't bother you, go for it. So we're going to keep doing that. 2 rows of red, 2 rows of white, 2 rows of red, 2 rows of white. Just 3 half double crochets each row until it's the length that you want. Now, if you want to do the exact length that I'm doing, I'm going to be doing 21 of these sections. So it starts with red and it ends with red. And there's going to be 21 altogether, so it's 42 rows altogether of the 3 half double crochets. You see right here, I'm just going to take my white yarn tail and finish it off. I guess these are called floats. Normally they're called floats. Carrying the yarn up. It will be all the way up the same side of the scarf, but that doesn't bother me at all. If it bothers you, you can either cut it and weave in a bunch of ends, or you could carry your yarn along with you. I've done all 3 of these versions, and I much prefer just bringing it up the side. All the Grinches I've ever made just have their scarves like that. And snowmen and anything over there, anything I made with scarves that are striped, I just carry the yarn up so that I don't have to weave in a whole bunch of ends. See right there, I did 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, but each one is 2 rows. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8 rows. So I'm going to keep going, doing 2 red, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, till I get to either 42 rows or 11 sections. Or not 11, 20, 21 sections, sorry about that. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. But of course you can make it as long or short as you want, or you can make it one solid color if you prefer. So let's finish this up, and then I will show you the finished thing. Okay, here's my scarf. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 sections. Each section is 2 rows, so it is actually 42 rows. 2 red, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white. And that's the length that's good for my size Grinch. If you used a bigger yarn, you might need to make it longer, because I did make a Grinch out of a size 7 yarn, and I did make his a smidge longer. So now I'm going to weave in the tails, and for something like this, I weave it in, I go back and forth a few times to make sure that they're pretty secure in there. So if you carried your yarn like I did, you only have 4 tails to weave in. If you didn't, you might have more. So I'm just going to weave them all 4 in. And see, here's where I carried my yarn up the side. I don't think it matters that much. It doesn't bother me. And I've given Grinches away, and I've sold some, and no one's ever said that they didn't like the way the side of the scarf looked. So I think it's okay. So I'm just going to weave in these yarn tails, and then put his scarf on him, and he will be done. His scarf will just be tied on him, so it can be taken off. If someone doesn't want the scarf, they can take it off. Okay, so here's Grinch and his scarf. Always, to knot it, I always just kind of put one scarf down low and bring the other one up. And just tie it around his neck. Because in the movie he has these parts, the dangly bits of the scarf, hang down pretty low. So I like to just do it like that. So there he is. He is done. And yeah, if you make this tutorial, I would love to see it. So show me pictures, whether it's on Facebook group, tagging me on Instagram, or send it through email. If you have videos about it, let me know, and I would love to watch them. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I'll try to help you any way I can. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. So I'm going to hop off here, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye, guys.